Hello, folks. Welcome to El Canal Chan Jose. Today, we're going to give you an idea how we replace this slave cylinder on this 91 to 94 Toyota Tercel. And this video is going to also help you on the 91 to 99 Toyota Tercel or 92 to 99 Toyota Paseo. And what this function of this slave cylinder is, it actually does the work on the releasing or engaging the clutch. So this is a hydraulic system. So this video is going to help you also on the similar models on the Toyotas that have this piston system. So with that said, we're going to show you how we did this replacement, and that way you can do it, or you want to take it to a shop. And with that said, let's jump right into it. So we're using the Duralast brand, and the part number is 12418, and the part looks like this. This is the old one. We already replaced it. So we're having some issues with this one. And what this one comes with is the hydraulic inlet, the purging of the air or bleed out for this point, and the two holes for the 30 millimeter bolts that was going to attach it to the engine. And this is the push, this is the rod that moves in and out. And that's located right there. So there's your transmission, and this is your engine. It's right underneath this area by the distributor or the upper water hose, and it's right there. So we're going to show you how we replace that so you get an idea. So today, to replace this clutch slave cylinder for this Toyota Tercel, what we're gonna have to do is first we have to put an oil pan to catch any brake fluid that comes out of this slave cylinder. And for this, we have to remove that hard line that comes into it, which is right here. It's a 10 millimeter nut, and we're gonna use a tubing wrench, and we're gonna have to remove those two 13 millimeter bolts off so we can take that slave cylinder out, and then we can start putting the new one in by attaching the hard line first, threaded it a little bit, and then putting the two bolts in, and then we can tighten it and then tighten the line coming in, and we're gonna have to purge or bleed off the system. But for this, we have to remove that one first, and we're gonna be doing a video later on about that one, how to replace that one. So for now, we're replacing the front one, the slave cylinder, oil pan to catch any of the liquid that comes out, so it doesn't make any spots on it doesn't leave any markings, spots in the floor. So with a flare nut wrench like this, we're gonna remove that flare nut right there, being careful. And the reason we're doing it while it's on is that way we can get more leverage and not bend the tubing. So we can keep it on, loosen it, and take it off, and then you can work on these. That's why we're using these wrenches, are especially for this, because they don't round off the flare nuts. So as you can see right now, the oil is coming out, or the brake fluid is coming out, because we have loosened and breaking off the seal that was there. So we take it off completely so we can move on to these two bolts. So as you can see, the whole flare nut is out of the slave cylinder. So now what we do is we let the oil drip, doesn't matter, because we're gonna purge it at the end. And now we continue with a 230 millimeter bolt. So now at this point, we have loosened in both bolts, but one is going to have more tension because the body is leaning against up against the body of the bolt, because this leg is pushing. This is the fork pushing into the piston, which is pushing this all the way into the bolt, which is holding this hold together against this. So we take him off. So now this little piston is being pushed by the leverage all the way again. So what we can do is push it with one hand against this leg so we can get that friction off, and we can start twisting this off and take this bolt out, because this is being held by this pressure against this bolt, and you want to use both hands to push it against this leverage to get the friction off of this bolt, so you're able to turn it by hand. this slave cylinder is right there. So what we do is we take it out. There's the two holes for the bolts. There's the uh, line connector. We take it out, and this piston or this rod right here goes right into this little cup right here. So there's a little low point that it falls right in there. So we take it out, the 13 millimeter bolt and the flare nut. So that's where the flare nut goes, and the 30 millimeters. So we get a new one. We put the two bolts. We line it up here too as well. And then we thread this by hand as much as we can with the bolts loose so we can maneuver it. And then we can start tightening in that. And then once we get that all the way in as much as we can, we tighten in these two bolts, and then we tighten in the flare nut. Here we have the old slave cylinder. We have the new one. It looks the same. It's just remanufactured. So we're gonna put this one. The two 30 millimeter bolts go here. The 10 millimeter flare nut goes here, and then this little piston or this rod goes right into the fork for the internal of the clutch. So I grab my piston, I bring it over. So for me, what it works better is that I put the hydraulic line in there first and thread it a couple threads, and then I start working the little rod into this area here, and then the two bolts for the base to attach the slave cylinder. And then once I put this and tighten them, I completely tighten that. So I start with this. Depends on how it works for you, but this is just an idea how we're doing this job. So as you can see, I tighten it or screw in that flare nut first because it's the hardest one to do at the end if you leave it by the end. So then once I did that, then I can continue with this little piston and guiding the two bolts. So now I have the little rod right into the fork. And then what I do is once I got that, I come over and line up the two 13 millimeter bolts, thread them in as much as I can by hand. And then once I do that, I tighten them. And then I come over here and tighten this flare nut completely in. And then we can start in the process of bleeding off the air out of this cylinder right here. So now we have the piston right here on the fork. We got the two 30 millimeter bolts in with the compression washers on in both of them. So now we can tighten in these completely down, and then we can come over and tighten this flare nut with a 10 millimeter flare wrench. And then once we do that, we can start filling our system up in the master cylinder and bleeding off the air through this, so we can have just fluid coming out of this bleed off nipple. Now that I have tightened in these two 30 millimeter bolts, we can come over here and tighten this 10 millimeter flare nut. So now what we have done is tightening the two 30 millimeter bolts, the 10 millimeter flare nut, and the piston is right in where it needs to be. So what we do is we loosen this up, and then we add liquid at the master cylinder, so this starts bleeding off, and we're gonna need a second person to push the pedal when we build pressure, and then we can bleed off here. We add brake fluid to our master cylinder. So now what we do is we fill up this, and now we can start using a second person to press the clutch pedal, so we can start purging the air or bleeding out the air out of the system, just like brake system. So this bleed off is a 10 millimeter. So now what we do is we're gonna tighten this completely, and we're gonna go press that clutch pedal a few times, build pressure, and then with the press, with the pedal all the way down, pressed, we're gonna loosen this. But before we loosen this, we're gonna put a hose because it's gonna spit it out, and we don't want oil going into this compartment. So then once that spits out, we tighten it, and then we release the pedal and build pressure again. And once it's built pressure, we loosen this again. So it's a process. We're getting air out of this, because otherwise you'll have a soft pedal because you're compressing air in a hydraulic. So now that I have my wrench there and the hose attached to this and it goes into the bottle, what I'm gonna do is I press the pedal, leave it down, loosen it, and then liquid's gonna spit out. And then what we're gonna do is repeat the process. Close this, release the pedal, press the pedal, open this, release pressure, close it, and then release pedal, and it's gonna be a process. And also keeping an eye on that liquid that doesn't drop too much, so it starts grabbing air at that point. So this is the purging or bleeding out the air out of this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the person press the pedal, the clutch pedal, and hold it down. I loosen this nut right here, or this nipple, and then liquid is gonna come out, and then I'm gonna close it down, and then the person is gonna release, and then I'm gonna tell them to press again the pedal. So this has to be closed when the pedal is down. Open when it's down and close when it's down, not open when it's up and close when it's up. No, everything happens when the pedal is down. So do that now. Press the pedal, hold it right there. Now I loosen this. So as we could see, there was air trap in there that is coming out. And when I loosen this, it let the pressure come out with the air. So now I'm gonna, with the pedal pressed down, I'm gonna close this and tighten it. So that way there's no air sucked in when they release the pressure, and it sucks the liquid back into the master cylinder. So all we're doing is pressing out, pushing fluid through this side at this point. So we close it and then we release the pedal. Release the pedal and press again. Hold it right there. Release the pedal and press it again. Now that we have opened and closed this a few times, we have to keep an eye on the level of the liquid up in our master cylinder. Otherwise, we'll start grabbing air over there and sending it through here. So we want to make sure that the master cylinder is always level. It has appropriate level of oil or fluid, so that way we don't start sending air on this side and we are not doing a right job. So now the master cylinder is right here. So we fill it up back to the level because it dropped in all the liquid that we've been pushing out with the air. Otherwise, if that drops too much, we'll start grabbing air and pushing it through the system, and we're gonna end up in a square one again. So let's fill up this back up so we can completely push just liquid and get the air out of this end. So now that we have the system back up to the level, what we do is we're gonna push the pedal about two more times, because the air was just about this area. But when you're replacing the master cylinder, it might take you a few more times because there might be air all the way from there, all the way through the system to this point. So we're gonna press the pedal, open, close, and then depress the pedal, press it again, open, close, and then depress the pedal. And we're gonna do it about two times to get all the air out of the system, so it's hydraulically filled and our air pockets are in there. So now that we have bleed out all the air out of this piston, we disconnect our hose, take our wrench off, make sure that that is closed before you release the pedal. And then once we do that, we can make sure that the level on the liquid over here is good. We put everything back on, and we are ready to roll back on the street because we have purged all the air out, and we have a brand new slave cylinder on this transmission. And now I put this little protector boot over this nipple. Now I'm gonna push the clutch pedal to show you how that little piston works. Well, folks, hopefully this video was useful and helpful how to replace the slave cylinder on this hydraulic clutch system. And the part is not hard to replace. So hopefully with this, you can actually replace it or get an idea what the job is on replacing this component. So the most important part about this is once you replace that component, you need to bleed out the air out of the system. So that way, when you press the pedal down, you actually are doing hydraulic pressure, not hydraulic with air, and then that way the pedal goes all the way down, and you're not actually disengaging the clutch because there's air trapped in there and you're compressing the air. So that's why bleeding out the system is very important, so that way you can end up with a nice steady pedal press and making the system work back up again. So with that said, folks, for friends who are watching a video and haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. If you like a video, give us thumbs up, share it, and we'll see you soon with more videos here in el canal del Chano Jose.